how to make this cutout angel wings t-shirt, please watch the video. In order to make this t-shirt, you will need this stencil of one of the wings. You can also make your own stencil. If you prefer to use this stencil, you can download it from my blog. The link is down here in the info box under the video. Then you go to my blog, and from my blog you scroll down my Spanish test, and then you'll find your English link. Then just print it on a paper. Now, just using this dotted line, fold the paper, because this is like the axis for making both wings equal. Get another piece of paper and line the edge of the piece of paper with the axis drawn in the template, and now use some adhesive tape to join both papers, like this. Fold it again. Get your favorite X-Acto knife or scalpel and use it to cut the continuous line, not the dotted lines. The dotted lines are for preparing some feathering edges that we will do later on. As the paper is folded, we will cut both wings at the same time. You don't need to be exact when cutting, just make it. Now you can see how both wings are getting cut at the same time. It's automatic. And here you have both complete wings. They are pretty, aren't they? Cut this excess of paper here, we don't need it. We could have cut it beforehand. So this one as well. And also tape this flap of paper down because we don't need it. And the stencil is ready. Get your t-shirt ready, turn it over, and then get some card to put inside the t-shirt. This cardboard will help us to avoid damaging or accidentally cutting the other side of the t-shirt. Get your stencil, place it on the back of the t-shirt, and start placing it where you think the wings will look nice. Center it like about 5, 6, 7 centimeter distance from the shoulders. Use some adhesive tape to fix the stencil to the t-shirt. I will use one of these special chalks to mark the t-shirt so it can be erased later. And I have completed the tracing. With good sharp scissors that cut really well, you can start cutting your pattern. First pinch the t-shirt like this, so you have a way you can start cutting like this, the first bit, and then continue cutting as the line marks. If you have to go over it again and correct, please do it. In the stencil, the top feathers have like a dotted line here that marks like a bigger feather. This is the space that is meant to be used to make like a feather effect to the cut you have just made. Simply make little cuts over the edge where it's marked, and then you get like a feather edge, which is looks quite nice, I think. Be careful. If you don't like this feathered edge, the only thing you have to do is when you cut the stencil, cut it on the dotted line. So that way you will cut the whole size of the feather and you won't have to do this. And then you can cut a bigger and plain feather. I will cut all the feathers under this row All of these ones I will cut them plain with no feathering edge, but you can feather it if you like the effect. Just don't get too close one hole to the next one. And all the wings are cut now. But I still have the fabric chalk marks on the t-shirt and I need to erase this. For that you only need to rub the t-shirt, one side of the t-shirt over the marks, and they will just disappear. It's like magic. You can also pull the holes in the t-shirt so you make them slightly bigger, but be careful, don't tear the t-shirt. We can now get this out, this card, because we have our t-shirt ready. This is my second video on how to make a cut-out t-shirt. My first video was about this t-shirt with a butterfly on the back. It's really sexy. If you would like to know how to make this butterfly, you have the link here to the other video here in the info box right under the video. And I get a lot of questions about this t-shirt. One of the most common questions is, can you machine wash that t-shirt? My recommendation is that yes, you can, but please put it inside one of those bags which are like a net bag to put delicate garments inside the washing machine, because if not, these holes here will get tangled with the rest of your clothes, and you can spoil your t-shirt. But I truly recommend to only hand wash the t-shirt. This t-shirt is hand washed, and that's why it still looks quite pretty. Another question I get asked is, can I cut the holes on the t-shirt with an X-Acto knife? And my answer is no, I don't recommend it, as when you cut with an X-Acto knife, you have to push on the cloth and then you stretch it, so you don't get a very neat hole, because you don't really know what you are cutting. There are some rotary knives that can cut clothes really well, but those are for longer, not these ones, not these very small pieces, but longer cutting. And I often get asked, where is the stencil? I cannot find it. Where is the stencil for the t-shirt? The stencil is in my blog. You go down here, and in the info box you have to open the show more, and there you will see several links. One of them is to my blog. In my blog you will scroll down the Spanish test, and then you will get to the link where it says download the template for the t-shirt wings. I need to explain this to you. Even though you see me cutting this stencil and then cutting the t-shirt like this, I had a problem because when I wore the t-shirt, this hole here, this feather, opened up like this, and it didn't look nice when I was wearing it. So I needed to make a new stencil which looks like this. Even though I prefer the stencil here, the stencil on the left, the stencil on the right is much better, and it looks like this when you cut the t-shirt. The smaller holes help that the t-shirt doesn't open up, and it looks prettier like this than this one which had a too bigger hole. So this is the stencil you will download. And so, ta-chan, ta-chan, ta-chan! This is the final result. Give it a try, make it yourself. If you fancy my t-shirt but you don't feel like making it yourself, check here in the info box down here. There is a link to my Etsy shop where you can find this, the butterfly cutout t-shirt, and other t-shirts that you may like in my Etsy shop. Have a look at them, please. Thank you. So, do you fancy my angel wings cutout t-shirt? I hope you do, and if you do, please subscribe to my channel, press like, and wait for the next manual idea fancy looks. Thank you.